Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Anita Lee. It's good to have you with us. Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines help residents break free from the cycle of poverty through rice distributions. We learn how a Tzu Chi volunteer in Turkey quickly came to the aid of Syrian refugees during a time of dire need. Finally, in celebration of Mid-Autumn Festival, Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia make mooncakes with a creative touch using Jing Si Food products. As poverty and hunger often go hand in hand, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Philippines continue to help impoverished families break free from the cycle of poverty through rice distributions. At the most recent distribution in Manila and Pampanga, Tzu Chi's aid has allowed recipients to save on food expenses and lessen their financial burden.
At their rice distribution, Tzu Chi volunteers touched the hearts of aid recipients with song and words of encouragement. The captain of Barangay Pandan in Pampanga was on hand to present a certificate of appreciation to the Tzu Chi volunteers.
Many aid recipients are unemployed and have children. Some of them only eat 2 meals a day.
Among the recipients is Normita, who has put off a needed surgery on her mouth because she does not have the money.
Now that I do not have to buy rice for several days, I can save the money for next month.
Another aid recipient, 62-year-old Erlinda, who single-handedly raises her grandchildren, does not even have the money to buy simple cold medicine.
I've had a cold for a week, but I don't have the money to buy medicine. I have many prescriptions, but no medicine, and now my feet hurt.
After the residents carried a 20-kilogram bag of rice home, some of them share it with their neighbors.
Since I don't need to buy rice, I can now go buy other food.
Venetia only saved 5 kilograms of rice for herself.
From the bottom of my heart, I want to help my neighbors because we are one family.
Besides the sick and poor, the rice distribution also benefited families who live on meager incomes.
This is how I make a living. I am scared of rainy days as business drops then.
Then there's Nasser, who has to walk 10 hours a day to make a living as a paddler. To save money, he does not even buy water.
I bring my own water because mineral water is too expensive.
Now that the aid recipients do not have to go hungry, Tzu Chi volunteers will continue to do their best to lessen the financial burdens of those in need.
Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers in Japan held a 2-day seminar to help remind volunteers of their initial aspiration in joining Tzu Chi. In total, 90 volunteers participated in the seminar, where they vowed to recruit more bodhisattvas to join their ranks.
Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers in Japan held a 2-day intensive seminar at their chapter house, where older volunteers share with the newer recruits of how to stay firm on the Tzu Chi path.
I've always felt that Tzu Chi has helped me to erase my karmic debts. Though it's been difficult, I've enjoyed the work.
Located in Tokyo, the Tzu Chi chapter in Japan was established in 1991. Many of the early volunteers were Taiwanese women who had married Japanese men. It was only in more recent years that the volunteers realized the importance of diversifying their ranks.
We have felt the importance in recruiting more like-minded people to join Tzu Chi, so I want to put in more effort into that.
During the 2-day seminar, volunteers not only chanted sutras to settle their minds, but also made great vows.
We will head to Chinatown to recruit more bodhisattvas.
After the 2-day seminar, I feel that everything is possible. If we set out to do it, then it can be done.
In total, 90 volunteers shared the laughter and tears on their path of cultivation. Former branch director Zhang Shoumin also came to strengthen everyone's vow.
The way we do Tzu Chi doesn't matter. We might give in different ways, and maybe our views might differ. But here today, we're united under one goal and one heart.
In the days and months ahead, Tzu Chi volunteers in Japan hope to continue to spread Tzu Chi's ideals to more people.
Tropical storm Eta has caused severe flooding in Japan's Ibaraki prefecture. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers from Tokyo mobilized to provide assistance to residents in the city of Jozo.
Tropical storm Eta caused severe flooding in Japan's east coast. In Jozo City alone, 3,000 people were forced into emergency shelters. Though few in numbers, Tokyo's Tzu Chi volunteers wanted to do something.
If we can give them a hot bowl of rice, imagine how happy they will be. They can't buy anything in the disaster area.
400 vegetarian lunchboxes are being readied in Tzu Chi's office in Tokyo and then sent to Jozo City Hall for relief workers, as they have been eating nothing but cold rice balls.
Because of the experience gained from 3/11 disaster relief, we know how to better delegate our responsibilities this time to maximize our potential.
Due to the ongoing Syrian civil war, thousands of Syrians have fled their homeland to seek safety in nearby countries such as Turkey. In early September, Tzu Chi volunteer Faisal Hu received a call from a Syrian refugee in desperate need of assistance. Upon learning that the man and 44 people were on a sinking boat out at sea, Faisal quickly came to their aid.
ونحن 45 شخص بس تيجي تراك هون قريبه بس يجوا ياخذونا.
This is a rescue call made by one of the Syrian refugees on board of a boat heading to Europe.
The person that contacted me told me that they are out on the open sea, so I quickly called them. When the man picked up the phone, I asked him where they are at and told him that I'm a volunteer from the Tzu Chi Foundation. The man told me that he knew the organization and asked me to call the Coastal Defense Force.
Upon receiving the news, Tzu Chi volunteer Faisal Hu and his wife sprang into action. With the assistance of the Turkish government, friends, and social media, the couple successfully rescued the 45 Syrian refugees.
It breaks my heart to see them in a situation like this. After a while, we realized that there are many who risk their lives every day to pursue a better life in a different country. We're very happy that we successfully rescued them.
As the Syrian civil war heads into its fourth year, more than 230,000 people have lost their lives, with more than 4 million seeking refuge in nearby countries. Today, the Turkish government has already taken in more than 1.8 million Syrian refugees.
Kanunlar içinde
According to Turkish law, these refugees don't have the permission to work in the country. However, we try to provide them with some job opportunity so they can make ends meet.
için çalışmalarına göz yumulur veya onlara o fırsat verilir.
Unfortunately, without Turkish citizenship, many Syrian refugees are forced to work long hours without insurance and have to constantly worry about being laid off.
Right now, the biggest problem is that many don't have the means to make ends meet. They don't have money to see a doctor, purchase food, or pay their rent.
Therefore, many Syrian refugees hope to move to other European countries that can provide more generous benefits.
I think Turkey is a great place for these refugees to settle down because it is a predominantly Muslim country. They don't have to worry about religion or food. I hope we can make them feel safe here.
To help Syrian refugees settle down in Turkey, local Tzu Chi volunteers have been holding relief distributions on a regular basis since 2014.
Barakallahu fikum.
Tzu Chi volunteers also introduced the spirits of Tzu Chi's bamboo bank era to inspire Syrian refugees to become givers.
I want to thank Allah because now we can stand on our own 2 feet and even have the ability to help others. Although we can only contribute a little, we can still volunteer on behalf of Tzu Chi with pride.
According to the Syrian Education Board, more than 500,000 Syrian children have fled the conflict to Turkey. Currently, more than 66,000 Syrian children in Istanbul don't have access to education.
I praise that Muslims and those from different faiths can work together for the betterment of the next generation. By receiving an education, these Syrian children will have the ability to embrace the society they are in.
To give Syrian children a chance at an education, Tzu Chi volunteers and Syrian volunteers joined hands to establish a school. With the assistance of the Turkish government in 2015, the first semi-public Syrian school in Turkey, the Menahe Primary and Secondary School, was established.
Education is very important. It is great that Tzu Chi is giving these Syrian children a chance to continue their schooling. Tzu Chi's effort is truly remarkable.
Right now, I'm very happy because I have the chance to go to school. My teachers and friends love me.
Currently, Tzu Chi has given more than 800 Syrian children the opportunity to continue their studies. In the years to come, local Tzu Chi volunteers promise to continue to assist these Syrian refugees any way they can.
As mooncake is an indispensable delicacy enjoyed on Mid-Autumn Festival, volunteers in Malaysia have come up with ways to make healthy and tasty mooncakes using Jing Si Food products.
Following the simple steps taught by their visiting teacher, volunteers add red bean powder, cocoa powder, and jute powder into the mooncake mix before kneading the dough.
我遇到的情况就是说，很多人都买了金丝的产品。
I've seen many people who buy Jing Si Food products and only drink them. They don't know what to do with the leftover powder. We can help them turn it into other foods. With the upcoming Mid-Autumn Festival, we can use them in making mooncakes. Although we don't use coloring, they will still look good. As you wrap the dough pieces, one side is thicker, so we must cut out the extra dough.
This classroom at the Continuing Education Center in Kuala Lumpur has been turned into a kitchen. Under the teacher's mindful instruction, the seemingly complicated steps are no longer difficult.
It's not difficult, really. The teacher created some simple recipes that we can follow at home.
这次我在做的时候，好像是蚂蚁这样情况。
Jute powder is a bit bitter, so children do not like the taste. So I'll add mochi and dry fruits to it. First of all, they add to the flavor. Secondly, the mooncake will not be too sweet.
Finding new uses for Jing Si Food products, the volunteers finished the day with homemade mooncakes, good for both the body and mind.
During Mid-Autumn Festival, many families in Taiwan gather for barbecues to celebrate. Since people will also consume more fruits and vegetables over the holiday weekend, a food expert has suggested that residents give their fresh produce a thorough cleaning to ensure all traces of pesticides have been removed.
As people enjoy barbecue on Mid-Autumn Festival, many will also consume fruits and vegetables. But before eating any fruits or vegetables, a quick rinse is not enough. One nutrition specialist suggests that people use scrub sponges and milk bottle brushes to thoroughly clean fresh produce.
A scrub sponge can be used to scrub large surfaces of produce under running water. Then a milk bottle brush can be used to clean crevices. Under running water, scrubbing produce can remove pesticide residue, garden pests, and even dust.
As pesticide residue often accumulate at the roots of leafy vegetables, experts suggest that we cut off 3 to 5 centimeters of the roots. The washing of pomelos cannot be overlooked either.
Theoretically, there is no need to spray pesticide on pomelos, but unfortunately, people still do it for the fruit to look good.
Experts remind us that fresh produce needs to be washed 3 times to remove pesticide residue.
Usually, we remove 90 to 95% of pesticide residue during the first wash, so there is 10% left. Then after a second wash, there's 1% of pesticide left. After the third wash, there's only 0.1% left.
Besides thorough rinsing and scrubbing, people should also consider steaming or boiling their vegetables so they can enjoy a healthy meal over the holidays. Another thing to be aware of when barbecuing is not to get too close to the fire. One man suffered from cornea abrasion when sparks from the fire flew into his eyes. Another young woman's cornea was injured after standing too close to a smoky fire for an extended period of time while wearing contact lenses.
She wore contact lenses for a long time and did not stay away from the heat. The sensitivity of her cornea deteriorated. Therefore, she blinked less and lost her eye protection instinct.
Then there is also an elementary school student who lost vision in one eye after a flying 0.2 centimeter pebble hit his eye while he was watching neighbors play with firecrackers.
The pebble was small and sharp, and it penetrated his cornea and the crystalline lens before falling down here.
Since many women still burn joss paper on certain dates, they also need to be aware.
It is hot and uncomfortable. Now my eyes need to stay cool. If not, there will be eye discharge and it will feel like there is something inside the eyes.
Do not stay close to sources of heat and stay at least 30 centimeters away from fires when barbecuing. Eyes are windows to the soul, and we should be mindful in protecting them.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Chile recently donated computers to churches in Punta Arenas and San Ramon, helping underprivileged residents expand their skill sets and broaden their horizons.
In Punta Arenas, Chile, it snows during wintertime, and many get depressed having to stay indoors for long periods of time. This priest and his wife will now be able to start a computer class thanks to the 6 computers Tzu Chi volunteers donated to their church. Although the children here cannot understand Chinese, they still felt the joy watching the volunteers' body language. Turning to San Ramon, at another church, Tzu Chi volunteers donated 10 computers, hoping to broaden the children's scope through information technology.
The Tzu Chi volunteers' donation will help the children improve. We are grateful they held such a formal donation ceremony, through which the children learned many important principles.
Tzu Chi volunteers brought supplies and taught us to be grateful to all living beings, as well as protect the planet Earth.
While these children come from impoverished families and can easily go astray, the church volunteers guide them with love. During the ceremony, Tzu Chi volunteers also demonstrated ways to prepare vegetarian dishes, expanding the children's palates as well as minds.
In Taiwan, more and more women are getting married later in life. However, as fertility and birth rates decline with age, the use of artificial reproduction methods has more than doubled over the past decade. To meet this growing medical trend, the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital recently opened its Center of Reproductive Medicine to help more women on the path to motherhood.
Today, Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital unveils its new Center of Reproductive Medicine. As women in Taiwan are having children later in life, Fertility and reproductive problems are on the rise. The center hopes to address these problems and needs.
We have done work in this area in the past, but through this center, we hope to give those in need of such services even better care and better results.
Thanks to the center's top-of-the-line equipment, cutting-edge technology, and dedicated staff, artificial insemination, in vitro fertilization, and frozen embryo transfers can be carried out in safety and with higher chances of success.
We can adjust the procedures according to the individual patient. In this way, we hope to reduce complications that arise due to differences in individuals. By getting a complete history on each patient, we can then understand if there are areas we need to pay more attention to.
In the future, the Center of Reproductive Medicine hopes to give couples more options when it comes to pregnancy and parenting, and thus help Taiwan tackle its dropping birth rate.
In Medan, Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers have teamed up with local businesses to hold a free clinic for the poor. The clinic offered consultations in ophthalmology, ENT, and dermatology, which pretty much covered all the needs of the some 500 residents who attended the event.
Due to constant exposure to sunlight and therefore UV radiation, a skin cancer-like tumor began growing by the right eye of Fuadi 6 years ago.
At first, the growth was white in color, but it disappeared soon after. Perhaps now because I'm older and my immune system is weaker, it has come back again.
Fuadia has come to Tzu Chi's free clinic for a checkup, afraid that the tumor will affect his vision. The doctors have arranged for it to be removed.
We will take him to a well-equipped hospital to remove this malignant tumor. As it is very close to his eye, his vision might be affected.
The free clinic was held at Labuh Hamadan and saw some 500 residents. Besides ophthalmology, the clinic also offered ENT and dermatology consultations. Tzu Chi also teamed up with local businesses to provide checkups for families in need.
We will fulfill our social responsibility and perform cataract exams for the poor, those that do need surgery. We will also take care of them if they are qualified.
For those that do need cataract surgery, arrangements will be made to ensure they can be healthy once again.
To help raise environmental awareness and show members of the public ways to protect the planet, students of Malacca Tzu Chi Kindergarten in Malaysia recently hosted a fashion show where they showcased garments made from recyclable materials. To put what they preach into practice, students also bring recyclables from home to be sorted at the school every Friday. We leave you with these images. Thank you for watching Tzu Chi This Week. Goodbye.